say, let not your heart be troubled. My heart is troubled. Our fellow Americans are in deep trouble tonight, behind enemy lines. Our friends, our allies are in deep trouble behind enemy lines. You know, leave no man or woman behind. Well, Great Britain and France, to their credit, they sent in troops to Kabul to escort citizens from Kabul successfully to the airport. Why haven't we? We have the best military fighting force on the face of the earth. Yeah, Americans now can't get to the airport, held hostage, and they're behind enemy lines day 6. Joining us now with more, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. I know you have plenty of contacts in the region. Without asking specific questions, which I will get to, I want you to give your best assessment of the situation on the ground and what potential options you might see to get our fellow Americans and allies out safely.
Well, Sean, you pretty much cataloged the chaos and the tragedy of these past 6 days. We now have Americans trapped behind enemy lines. Today, what President Biden said, frankly, made it worse. I didn't hear a single thing from him today that would have given comfort to those families. There's still no plan to get these Americans back. I didn't hear a single thing that would give comfort to the very allies you spoke about. I've heard from people in the region. They are frightened by the American collapse, the American collapse of temerity and strength and power that we demonstrated for 4 years that had frankly kept the Taliban at bay and prevented precisely what you're seeing happening today. And I didn't hear a single thing that would frighten a single Taliban who thinks there's any risk that this administration will pose any cost on them for their activities, for what they're doing to Americans today and holding them hostage, not permitting them to get into the airport in Kabul so that we can get them home to their families. This is a debacle of significant proportions. We haven't seen anything like this in the United States in an awfully long time. America has the tools to fix this. Our military could certainly figure out a way to go get these folks back and to destroy some of these billions of dollars in equipment that we left behind. But it's going to take American resolve and leadership, and President Biden has refused to show this for the entire time.
They could have done this. Is all preventable. The Biden White House was warned. They were warned by their own people. They were warned weeks ago this was inevitable. I'm told that, for example, the CIA pulled their people out over 6 weeks ago. They all saw it coming. Here's my question. Now, the Biden administration has been trying to place blame on both you and President Trump. I happen to know a little bit more than the average person because your plan was based, one, on conditions on the ground before anything else, and also confirmed by the president and Mark Meadows. You were right up to your eyeballs as part of these negotiations before any negotiations take place, to the extent that you're able to share. My understanding is Donald Trump on the phone with the Taliban leader was clear and unambiguous. If you don't follow, if we have a deal and you violate any aspect of that deal, let me tell you, the might and of the United States military will be brought to bear in ways that the world has never seen before. Something to that effect. Is that true, sir?
Sean, that's absolutely true. I was on that phone call when he spoke with Mullah Baradar. He told him very plainly, we set down a set of conditions. We have every expectation that you will comply with those conditions. If you don't comply with those conditions, we will rain American power on top of you. Indeed, Sean, from time to time, they pushed it a little too far to checkpoint or took an action that was inconsistent with our understanding, and we crushed them. We applied American power, a deterrence model that said, America is strong, you're weak, you're going to do the things we want you to do, and until you do, we're not going to comply with the promises we made. Look, Sean, as much as we wanted to get everybody out, we didn't get to the point where the conditions were right to do precisely that. We went down from 15,000 to 2,500, and we maintained the order that had been in Afghanistan. We were successful in doing that. Now they have twice as many, almost 3 times as many American military in there, and it's chaos. This is because of failed leadership. This is because the Taliban think that they face no risk from this president of the United States.
That threat was so real that for over a year, not a single American was killed in Afghanistan. And the Taliban understood what the consequences would be. My question is, we watched 10% of the country get taken over by the Taliban, 20%, 30%, 40%. 5 weeks ago, the State Department said that Kabul will be overthrown. Where's the sense of urgency at that moment to immediately identify every American, where they are, and extract every American, the logistics to get it done as expeditiously as possible? Why did that not happen, Mr. Secretary?
Sean, it's pretty incomprehensible to me. I can't explain the absence of planning. At first they said they planned, and then they said they couldn't have planned for it. I can't explain where when they saw this, they didn't do the right thing for the American people. I can assure you that President Trump and I would have done that. Every time the Taliban pushed, we pushed right back. We had a deterrence model in place. When the Taliban pushed here, 10%, 20%, we withdrew. We withdrew the support that was needed to make sure that we could get these Americans out from behind what was to become enemy lines, to make sure that we could support our allies, the promises that we had made to them. All of these things, the things that the whole world is seeing now, American leadership crumble in the face of this Taliban might. This has got ramifications that will last an awfully long time, Sean. I hope this president is determined enough to begin to take back the capacity to exert American influence in this region and deal with the Taliban in a way that President Trump and I did for so long.
Mr. Secretary, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.